Hey guys, Andy McCann here with CrossFit Garage, where intensity is king and routine is your enemy. And I am going to fly through the workouts so you can check them out. I'm going to do some editing as we go, so they may look different when I get to them on this individual shot. But anyway, I'm going to cover each of these. So this Monday, we will have a large workout. It should take most of us somewhere between 16 and 30 minutes. Now, there's two ways to do this. The first way is just simply do it in line and do it all, and it could be a very long workout. No problem, go for it. 100 pull-ups is quite intense. You may find lots of grip issues. That's okay, you can sub and you can scale. The other way to do it is to say, look, I want to do this as much as I can in 15 minutes. And then what you want to do is break this up like 25, 25, 25, 25 and go in that order, and that's fine. You can massage it to whatever you want. But this workout is going to take about, like I said, 20 to 30 minutes. So again, not all the time in CrossFit we're going for the short intense. We do want the extremes. We will have longer workouts. Some days it'll be, run a lot. And other days it's lift a lot. So those can be, push the edges of the boundaries of CrossFit. So, super endurance, super lifting, whatever. But most of the time in CrossFit, you're going to find it in that 8 to 12 minute intensity, where like today that we did, what did we do today? Power cleans and toes to bar. In 10 minutes, you go as hard as you can. When I was done and there was some extra credit, I didn't want to do the extra credit, and I didn't because I was whipped. And that's what the secret of CrossFit. When you do too much, then you actually have diminishing returns on the investment you're putting into CrossFit. So intensity is what you want with rest. But anyway, so you could do this workout, boom, click RX, you're done, whatever. Or you come down here, we've got some alternates. So CrossFit main site has these listed out, and you can actually go to main site, see their workout. You can see what people have commented. There's actually some pretty cool videos that they've got. So your lunge, knee to the floor, it gives you some great descriptions. I don't think the sound comes through when I click play on this, but it's a very unique sound video. Anyway, you can listen to them. You can come back and click on it. There's also medicine ball. The cue on the medicine ball is the laces basically need to stay facing me. So if you watch, she puts the laces facing me and she releases her grip so that the laces stay facing me. And that's the big cue for that. So medicine balls or medicine ball cleans aren't that difficult, but 100 of them is definitely difficult. So being able to move through these body weight movements without stopping would be key. Or if you are going to rest, be smart about it. So, rub out the forearms or swing out your shoulders. Just don't stand there and breathe, okay? Be smart about your rest. And the next day we got sumo deadlift high pull. Sumo deadlift, not high pull, just sumo deadlift. So it is something that, again, some of these movements we haven't done in a while. CrossFit main site does move through a whole lot more variety of movements, and that's great. So it's basically a deadlift, but you've got your feet in a wide position. As you can see, you're doing it right here. If you've ever watched a powerlifting event, you'll see people do this if they're allowed to, because you can actually lift more with a wider base. And I have added Karen in there as extra credit. Again, my philosophy is you do this, you do it with an intensity, a 5x3 is going to take you the entire class. But some of you don't want to listen to that, and you think, I need to be like sweaty and dead on the floor every single time, and that's not really what it's about. But I'll give it to you. You will have diminishing returns on the results that you want by doing too much, but here it is. So if you want to do something extra, it's on your own. It's just wall balls. It's called Karen. 150 wall balls for time. It is a named workout. It will take, if you've been here a while, it'll take about 8 minutes to do. If you're new to this, it probably take about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how you break this up. It gets pretty nasty as you go through it. So it's extra credit. The coach probably isn't going to coach for it. You can just do it on your own. This is what you should be focused on. But again, I know some of you want more. I don't know why. This is not CrossFit doing all this stuff. But I'm going to add it as an extra credit so you guys can hang out and do it. I am totally against it, but it's there for some of you guys because you want it. Okay, so here's why I don't like doing extra credit. Because today's workout, or this day's workout, is a awesome CrossFit couplet. 400-meter run with 10 shoulder overhead at 185 pounds. This is not only a a moving workout, but then you come back in and you have to lift something crazy heavy. Well, for me anyway, crazy heavy. I'll put in an alternate with a percentage. Actually, let me do that right now. Okay. So now RX Plus is the workout we want, 400 meters with 10 shoulder overheads. And then we have an RX, which is 400 meters, and then 60% of your 1 rep max shoulder overhead, and scaled with 50% of your 1 rep max and only 200 meters. Now you'll see down here you've got shoulder to overhead. You got some options here. So they said shoulder to overhead. It's any way you want to do it. Typically, you're going to either go push press or push jerk. Push jerk is the better way to do it. When you look at these percentages, use the heaviest one you've got. So shoulder press, push jerk, whichever the heaviest, that's the percentage you want to look at. So when you see this reference option here, it doesn't mean go back and do these workouts. It just is giving you something to look at so you can find your percentages. Also, if you're able to do these lifts, let's say I do my 3 rounds, I do all 10 sets together, then I could go in here and say, let's say I would do push jerk. I would say 3 sets of 10 at 185, and that would menu stuff. Or let's say I broke it up into, I don't know, let's say I did them one at a time. Then I'd say 30 sets of 1 at 185. And what happens then is Wodify will build an estimated 1 rep max for you. So you want to add numbers into this, whichever one you use. So get your percentage and then go back and get your, or add in whatever you did to help build that percentage. Let me show you what that would look like from today's workout. Okay, so in today's workout, there were power cleans in the workout, right? The workout itself was 5 power cleans at 165. So I could come in here and hover over this, and it shows me what I've done. Now, my 1 rep max is 245, so me going in and adding, well, I did 40 reps or 40 sets of 1 at 165, it's not going to change my estimated 1 rep max because it's, this number's already bigger. But for a lot of us that don't have solid 1 rep max numbers, Wodify will use math and science and such, well, programming, to then create this number right here, and it'll say estimated, I don't know, 175 or whatever. It'll come up with something. And that way you can then use those percentages. So I could also use these percentages for the workout. So if I did the workout differently, I just hover over that. Here's my percentages, and I'm done. Obviously, it stops at 55%. I have it up there as 50%, which just divide it in half. I mean, it should be pretty, hopefully pretty easy math for us all. But again, the reason I don't like to do extra is because there has to be a rest period, and most of us don't have a 3-day on, 1 day off type of scenario. So you're not going to go into this one all that rested, which means you're going to be less intense. And I would rather have a muscle soreness tired here so that I can come in and do super fast kick buttery on this one. So I'll probably have to row because my knee is all busted up. But this is I love this workout right here. So this one's going to take you about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the hardness that you put yourself at. I would love it if you could scale yourself correctly to get it done in about 10 minutes so you could really power through it. If you do, and then there's a lot of time left over, then come back to these reference numbers and say, hey, I'm already warmed up on the shoulder press. Let me pick one of these and try to get a number. Or, hey, coach, help me out. Let me get numbers here. So typically what happens is when I can't shoulder press anymore, I'm going to push press it. And when I can't push press anymore, I'm going to push jerk it. Let me see if I got the videos up for those. Yeah, so here's your push press. So she's just going to dip drive. There's no second knee bend. Dip drive, no second knee bend. And then on a push press, you're going to dip drive dip. So dip drive dip. This is much easier to do in the long term. It's harder skillfully, but it's easier on the body. So dip drive dip. When this workout says shoulder to overhead, you can do anything you want. You could press, push press, shoulder press, and I guess you could do it with one arm if you could, I suppose. But anyway, you could do whatever you want to do as long as it's going from your shoulders to your overhead. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so Chelsea is like Cindy, another named workout, except this is an every minute on the minute for 30 minutes. So the goal in the workout Cindy is to try to get, I guess, up to, hold on, let me go double check it. Yeah, so if you see right there, so Cindy is 5 pull-ups, push-ups, and then 15 squats. So same sort of thing, but you're doing it for 20 minutes. The goal is to get above 1 a minute and you're pushing for it. So you want to see if you can, like, at one point I could get up to 28. I think Eric Richards got 29. I doubt I could do that now. But anyway, so in this one, it's to, oh, shoot, how do I delete that? You want to get, well, you're going to go for 30 minutes and you want to get through the entire movement structure. So if you can't do this bit in 1 minute, then scale it back down. Ring rows, push-ups from your toe, or RX will be ring rows and push-ups from your knees. So you want to be able to get through the movement. Don't get stuck. So every minute, if you could blast through this and then you get like 15 seconds of rest, and then you go again. And what you want to be able to do is understand your body and your rest needs. So do I go as hard as I can to get more rest, or do I go at an easy pace and finish with 2 seconds to spare and then move right back into it? What you're going to find is you probably fall off pretty quick. It's okay. If you fall off, just keep going through and you can count the reps that you get to. Or if you don't care about your score, which is totally fine with me, don't stop this section, just keep going. So if you bust the minute, do a full and then rest, and then just go off the minutes and just try to get through the workout for 30 minutes. Slow down as you need to slow down, or take an entire minute off. You can do a lot of different things in here to help yourself, but the goal would be to get through whatever work you pick in the minute. So make sure it's something that you can do and stick with, right? So scale it appropriately. Like you could even scale this to, I'm going to do, I don't know, 2, 5, and 10, right, on this section, and just continue to do that for 30 minutes. So it's to have small bursts, like 40 seconds worth of pounding it out, and then 20 seconds of rest, okay? If it takes you 2 minutes to do this, then this particular one isn't the one you want. You want to pick one of these guys. Okay, and then we move into hang power cleans, another heavy lift day. And CrossFit is great about moving the stress on your body around. Again, if you're going for extra credit, which I'll put some here in a second, it'll probably mess you up a bit, but it's there for you guys. I won't do it. I know what CrossFit's trying to do, and CrossFit is not volume, and it's not overtraining. CrossFit is it. You can definitely come back in these movements like Karen and say, hey, I may not do it for time, but I'm going to ask like my neighbor, hey, look at my wall balls. How do these look? That's totally awesome. Practice stuff, get better. But to bust it out here and then come and try to bust it out there and then come back and say, well, I'm going to bust this out here. It just ain't going to happen. You're going to fall apart somewhere. And CrossFit's mentality is, hey, do this and then rest, and then come back and hit it hard on this one, right? Okay, so going back to this, hang power cleans, I will also add, I'm going to run out of video time here, I will add some sort of extra credit. All right, guys, thanks for being here at the garage. Research CrossFit and what it does for you and why it works. Educate yourself. Hit me back with any questions you ever want. I'm here for you. Take care, guys.